Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. How are you? Today I'm going to do something slightly different, and I know a lot of people are really worried. That creaking's my dog coming into my study. A lot of people are worried about the cost of electricity and gas and cooking hot meals and things like that. So today I wanted to show you how you can make a really quick and tasty meal but without using a lot of electricity and gas. And also to think about when you shop, because obviously if you can cut your food bill down, great. And one of the things I love doing is I love looking at the discount aisle in the supermarkets. You can get some really good bargains, especially if you go towards the end of the day. Warning there though, don't go there at the end of the day expecting to make your meal out of those bargain basement sort of shelves, because that's not going to happen. What you'll probably find is it's the odd thing that you can make a meal. You need lots of other things with it, but what I tend to do is go and have a look and think, well, okay, what can I freeze, or what will last till tomorrow, because they sell it because the sell by date is today. But for example, I bought some mussels. Now seafood you'll be very careful with, I must admit, but I bought some mussels. They were, I think, nearly £4 and down to 69p, but I knew I could have them next morning. Well, not next morning, next lunch. So I made a really nice lunch. A few hours is not going to turn those mussels off. They were kept in the fridge and they were cooked to perfection. So, you know, have a think about what it is you've got. And the things I'm going to be using today, the one thing there, which I'll show you in a minute, is pre-cooked chicken. And that, you know, sometimes I get it for 10p. Seriously, I get it for 10p, and I just buy it and I freeze it, and it makes such a quick and cheap meal because you can use it in so many different things. I'm going to show you one today with rice. You can use it with pasta. You can obviously put it on sandwiches. You can make a nice salad with it. You can make a curry depending on the flavour. Sometimes it could be just plain cooked chicken. Obviously, get different flavoured ones, which is what I've got today. You can put it with spaghetti, couscous, anything really, honestly. The world's your oyster with them, and they're just brilliant because they're already cooked, and all you need to do is defrost them and then just warm them through it, or have them cold if you want. But it's a really cheap way of having a really nice meal. Same with bread. I buy bread and sometimes I get it for 10p as well. And bread, today's date, okay, you're gonna think it's gonna be stale. Stick it in the fridge. Honestly, it will last another week in the fridge, and it's perfect, especially if you have toast. You don't need it to be completely soft, but I have had it with sandwiches and it's still been fine. Just because the date is today doesn't mean it's not edible. Now obviously some things you need to be more careful with, you know, things like poultry, eggs, but be sensible with it. If it can go in the freezer, stick it in the freezer. If it can't and you're not going to use it, don't buy it because you're wasting your money. You know, there's no point saying, oh, that's 10p, fabulous, I'll buy it, and then it goes in the bin. That's not what you want to do. You want to choose things that you can have. Another thing I'll do, and I will get on to cooking, I will, I promise, but the other thing I do is things like, so I was going to say them, mushrooms, onions. You might think, well actually there's too much there. What I do is I part cook them, stick them in a bag, stick them in the freezer, so the next time you want something which has got mushrooms and onions in it, and peppers I've done this with, it's there in your freezer, just pull it out. Just stick it in your pot or whatever you want to do with it. Green beans, I've bought loads of green beans on offer at 10p before now. Blanch them a little bit, let them cool off, stick them in my freezer, and then put them into little portion bags in my freezer. And again, it's a way of saving money and having really delicious food. So, you know, have a look around. My supermarket, I sort of know where the little spots are. But even if it's not 10p and it's just half price, again, that could be really good value for you. So don't, you know, turn your nose up at it. Just have a look and think about what you can do. Like I said, if you can freeze it, take it. If you can't, then obviously, if you can't eat it, don't buy it. That's my rule. Okay, so let me get on to show you what I'm going to what I'm going to cook. Let me start again. Let me now tell you what I'm going to cook tonight. And honestly, this is just so quick, so simple. And with hubby, I'm going to add a little bit of twist at the end because he wanted some cream for something yesterday. And we need to use the cream up. So I am going to add cream into this dish for him because I don't want to waste food at the moment. But I won't have that for myself. So watch and see at the end as well as to what I do with his. But honestly, it's a really quick and easy meal. And so the chicken has come from the bargain aisle. Okay, it wasn't 10p, I think it was 79p this time. But honestly, you can't beat it. And also, open your eyes to different supermarkets. When I go to the gym now, there is an Aldi down the road. And what I tend to do is I have a Tesco shop comes to the house. But just before Tesco's delivery needs to go on, I do check the prices at Aldi, and if I can buy it cheap at Aldi, I buy it at Aldi. If I don't, I'll leave it on my Tesco shop. So again, and I'm not going out my way, that's the one thing I won't do. I wouldn't go to Aldi unless it was literally next door to my gym, because the time you paid your petrol to go there, it's a waste of time. Alright, so again, don't go around all the supermarkets trying to save the odd few pence here and there, because you're going to use more in petrol or diesel or whatever car you've got. Alright, so just be a little bit savvy on your shopping, okay? The rice I got, say, was from Aldi. It's so much cheaper than Uncle Ben's, because Tesco's don't seem to do such nice varieties of rice these days in their own make. And as I said, Uncle Ben's is like over £1, £1.25. I got this rice for 69p from Aldi, and they've got loads of different flavours. So yeah, definitely there's a tip for you. Alright, let me shut up and let me go on with my cooking. I'll see you in a minute. Right, so I've got, as I promised, some reduced cooked chicken, so sweet and smoky chicken breast. I've got some peppers, I've got some onion, I've got some frozen mushrooms, which I've just defrosted, and then this is the rice that I've been talking about. So this is chicken, not chicken tikka, it will be chicken tikka, because I'm putting chicken in it, but it's tikka style rice from Aldi. And they've got quite a few different flavours, and they are brilliant. They're 69p each. So what I'm going to do first of all is pop this in the microwave for 3 minutes, and then I'm going to put the veg on to cook, and it will literally take me minutes to do this dinner, and it will be delicious and very cheap. Sorry about the mess behind. Look, it used to go in the bin, and my phone. There we go. Right, let's get cooking. Right, so literally while my rice is cooking, I'm going to start cooking the vegetables. So I've got my Berghoff pan. I'm not going to add any oil to it. Let me get some heat underneath it though. Perfect. And I'm just going to throw the onions in at the moment. Just get that all in. And then I'm going to get the peppers in there. Perfect, and just give that a little bit of a stir. And then I'm just going to cook those down, just so they're softened. And then I will add in my frozen mushrooms. And what I've also now since done is I've taken some sweet corn and peas out of the freezer. I always keep these in a bag in the freezer because they're really cheap, because, you know, frozen peas, frozen sweet corn cost nothing for a bag of say 1 kg, and then just take out what you want. Much cheaper than buying it fresh, and it's there when you need it. So I will add that into this dish as well, just to bulk out the vegetables for it. So it is going to be a really, really simple dish, but it's going to be delicious. So I'll come back when that's all softened off. So I'm going to do a couple of side dishes as well to go with this, and I've got here a mango, which I got again in the yellow aisle for like 10p. Had it in the fridge for a week, so just because it's in the aisle doesn't mean it's got to be used straight away. So just test how firm it was. So this is now perfect, it's nice and squidgy, and I've just chopped up 4 tiny cherry tomatoes into quarters and put some fresh basil, which I grow from my own basil pot. So that, again, really, really cheap dinner for a side dish. And then for my next one, I've got just a little pouch of Greek natural yogurt, which I'm just going to pop into this dish. It's just something I want to use up. It was amongst my HelloFresh, but because I was using Greek yogurt for breakfast, and the sell-by date was sooner on the one that I got for my big pot, I didn't use this one. So, but now I do need to use it up. So I'm just going to squeeze all this out. Get it all out, don't want to waste any. And you know, you probably think that's a bit of a mishmash. You've got tikka, you've got Greek yogurt, and then you've got mango. You've got a bit of Mediterranean, you've got a little bit of Greek, and a bit of Indian. But hey ho, do you know what? It all tastes nice. That's Lola, not scratching the door. Just going to add a teaspoon of mint sauce, the vinaigrette type. Just mix it up. And because I'm going to do naan bread with this, I thought this would be really nice. There we go. And that's my second side dish. Perfect. Right, the next thing is my naan bread, which has come out of the freezer. Just going to pop a little bit of water on it, just to give a bit of moisture. Did both sides. Not too much slightly. There we go. And then I'm going to chop it in half. And then instead of putting it under the grill, I'm going to put it in the toaster, and that'll just take a couple of minutes like a piece of toast would, and again saving putting the oven on or the grill on for that. Right, so my onions and peppers are softened nicely, so I need to add the rest of my ingredients to that. So first thing I need to add into that is my mushrooms. There is a bit of liquid in there which I have kept back because it will just add a bit extra bit of flavour. Give that a stir. Perfect. Then I'm going to add in there my chicken, which is already cooked, so all it needs to do is warm through. If there's any large pieces, I'm just going to chop them so it's nice bite-sized chunks. So let's put that in. And I've got my sweet corn and peas. And I'm just going to give that a stir and just warm that through for a couple of minutes. Not even a couple of minutes, 30 seconds. Love the colours though, looks amazing. That's perfect, you can see the steam coming off that, and now I'm just going to add in my rice. Make sure I get it all in there. It smells lovely. And then I'm just going to make sure it's all broken down and give it a good mix. And then this dish is actually good to go. How quick is that? And how amazing does that look? So when you're in a hurry and you're on a tight budget, you can still have a really wholesome meal. That just looks lovely. Okay, let's get dishing this up. And here it is. My quick and simple chicken rice dish with sides, and that's probably cost about £1, yeah, about £1.20 per person for tonight's dinner, if that actually, probably less. So, and it's going to be delicious. What do you think? Told you, can't get much easier, simpler, but very, very tasty. And you know, if you're in a rush or you're on a certain time scale, that just perfect. Microwave, a little pan, flushing around on the table and eat. And also, you know, that you could then use next day for lunch if you don't use it all for your dinner. Obviously in our house with my husband, it does get eaten. And the naan bread, I buy a 2-pack and use one and then put the other in the freezer, so nothing in my house will ever get wasted because I will use it somehow. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, don't forget to subscribe, notifications, and give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you next time. Take care, bye!